All right, everyone, we start off today talking about the Hunter Biden distraction. Of course, he has been convicted now on his federal gun charge, that is having a firearm while he was smoking crack when he was digging around in the rug for Parmesan cheese. I'll know what that's a reference to. Link in the description, archived, of course. This is both meaningless and meaningful. I mean, it's meaningful in the sense that, number one, the law shouldn't even be applied. The law shouldn't even exist. The fact that somebody lied on a federal form about using drugs and obtained a firearm in and of itself did not cause any violence to anyone. It doesn't reasonably do so. If anything, if Hunter's doped up on crack, he's not going to be able to hit the broadside of a barn anyway. And he never showed any violent proclivities. They're just saying that he lied on the federal gun form. It's also meaningful in the sense that this is the first time that you've got a conviction of the child of a sitting president. That being said, it's also completely meaningless and totally bullshit astroturfed. The legacy media is spinning this in two major ways right now, but most of the legacy media. The first is, well, this is good for Joe Biden. I'm not sure exactly how, but somehow they've put two and two together and on a different level. And according to their four-dimensional chess analogy, Hunter Biden potentially being in prison is actually a good thing for Joe. They're not the same person. Nobody cares. Secondly, everyone's so fixated on the gun charge, they're not talking about all of the other stuff on the Hunter Biden laptop or anything about his involvement with the big guy, which is actually meaningful for broader public policy. I care that Joe Biden lied about not meeting with people that he provably met with. I care about the legacy media and big tech cover-up of the contents of the laptop in order to interfere with the 2020 election. I care about the fact that Hunter arguably trafficked prostitutes across state lines, possibly of a dubious age. I care about these things. Those are meaningful. I don't care about the fact that he had a gun and that it was left in a dumpster, effectively. I don't care about it. He never shot anyone. He never negligently fired the weapon through the wall in a crack daze or anything like that, so nobody was in any particular danger. The fact is, it's being used as a distraction from things that actually are meaningful. So, I mean, it's funny, I guess, that he got convicted of this, although, again, I don't even support the conviction. He's a screw-up for reasons beyond, lying on a federal gun form that shouldn't exist in the first place. He's a screw-up for whoring himself out and smoking crack and stuff like this in general, but he's not a politician. Other than his involvement with his dad, it doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't matter to me whether Hunter smokes crack. A million other Americans are going to smoke crack today. Some of them will own firearms. Well, that's sad, but that's ultimately their fucking problem. It doesn't raise my taxes. It doesn't leave the border wide open. It doesn't mean that there was some sort of corruption and collusion with regards to Burisma, where Joe Biden, then VP, openly bragged about getting a prosecutor sacked around the same time that Hunter was working for them. Those are meaningful. We should be having still a broad public debate about the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop and his involvement, not in and of himself, but with Joe Biden. Joe Biden's the one that's currently in office, the steward of the asterisk administration. He's the one calling the shots, mostly duds when he calls them, on foreign policy, inching us towards World War III, on tax policy, threatening to massively raise taxes on the American public broadly by letting the Trump tax cuts expire. That's what you do. He's the one who's sending hundreds of billions of dollars to foreign nations that we don't have while veterans sleep out under the overpass. That's Joe's thing. The fact is that he was facilitated in entering into the presidency partially because of what Hunter was doing for him, getting him a bunch of money and broad support from abroad, generally speaking, from Ukraine and Turkey and places like that. Manafort went to jail for far less. I care about Biden's lies. I don't care about Hunter Biden. Only indirectly, only when he's involved with something that Joe did. He's not a politician. It's a distraction. The other part of it is that they're angling to say, well, this proves that Donald Trump is not being persecuted. See, the laws can strike out at any time against any person. It's very even-handed. It's wonderful the way it's applied. No, it's not. And no reasonable person actually believes that, by the way, including the liberals that are parroting the line right now. Well, see, justice is blind. No, it's blind, deaf, and dumb. See, that's the problem. The persecution of Donald Trump is not the same as Hunter Biden's ultimately on paper rightful conviction. We have him dead to rights. We know that he obtained a firearm after lying on this form. There's no argument to be had. The finding of guilt in his case is not equivalent to what we have with Donald Trump, where you have an entirely untested legal theory with regards to the Bragg conviction, the Manhattan DA, over literally a non-crime. There was no crime actually committed. There's no evidence of any actual fraud payments that were actually made. Payments were made. Another individual is effectively taking credit for them, and they're not even covering up a crime, so they should never have been upgraded to felony charges. He couldn't have gotten a fair trial. Hunter did. Nonetheless, I condemn the conviction entirely. No, Hunter shouldn't be convicted any more than Trump should have been convicted. And in a fair court of law, there would have been jury nullification in both cases anyway. That's why I talk about it so often. By the way, don't talk about jury nullification if you ever intend to use it. Don't let on that you know what that is. Make sure to, use incognito mode when you go to the Wikipedia article. It's a fun topic, by the way. It's a distraction. It's a grift. It's a ruse, basically. Get people talking about Hunter, but they're not talking about the big guy and what he's been doing. And when they are, the liberals are crowing about it and saying that this is good for Joe Biden. See, he can say that there's no persecution. The legal system is even capable of taking down his beloved son. Well, the one that survived, the less beloved son, made him a lot of money. Obviously, he's not as proud of him as he was Beau Biden. I think there's several reasons for that, and that's quite clear. It's a distraction. It doesn't mean anything. Federal gun from who cares? They shouldn't exist in the first place. That's about all. Peace out.